Hi there and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Catherine. I'm a business English and advanced English teacher, so I make a lot of videos about English for the workplace and how to improve your professional English. Today's video is going to be 10 idioms you will come across in the workplace, and I do already have an idioms video that you can find on my channel. If you have seen that one already, you will know that I personally believe idioms are not used as much as textbooks and YouTube channels and English teachers will tell you. However, in the workplace, in a professional setting or a corporate environment, you will come across idioms often. Now, this is because when we're in a professional environment, we don't like to say things directly, we like to make them a bit softer or a bit more polite. In other words, people don't like to be as honest as they should be or direct as they should be. They'll find another way to say what it is that they're really feeling. So without any more hesitation, here are 10 idioms that you will definitely come across in your professional career and with your workplace English. So number 1 is ahead of the curve, ahead of the curve. Now this expression means to do something faster or react quicker than your competitors or the people around you, maybe change something before everyone else does. What it's referring to is almost a curve in a graph. So imagine the curve about to increase, about to go up. You're changing something before that happens. So ahead of the curve. You're the first one in there to do it. The first business to change something about the way they structure themselves. You're ahead of your competitors, ahead of the market. You may hear people say, let's get ahead of the curve, or if we do this, we'll be ahead of the curve. My new idea, I think, will put us ahead of the curve. It's like above average, better than everyone else, quicker than the people around us. Our second one today is take the bull by the horns. Now this sounds quite strange when first hearing it, and there is some argument about the origin. Some people say it started in Spain and was a Spanish expression. Some people say it was created in America. However, it comes from the sport of bullfighting. So imagine you are fighting a bull and you grab it by its horns. You're facing it directly. You're facing the problem straight on, forward facing. So to take the bull by the horns is almost as if to say, I am tackling this issue head on. No complications. I'm not going around. I'm straight on tackling the situation. So let's say, for example, you are doing your IELTS test and you don't feel prepared, but you say to yourself, I'm going to take the bull by the horns, give it my best shot and see what result I get. It's like you're just going to tackle the situation, not worry about other outcomes, what could possibly happen. So in the workplace, if someone says to take the bull by the horns, or he took the bull by the horns with this project, it's like they tackled it straight on. They confronted the issue. Now, I'm not entirely sure where this expression comes from. I believe it might be from sailing, but the dead wood refers to something that is slowing you or your team down. So the reason I think it comes from sailing is because if you get a tree or dead wood stuck in the rudder at the bottom of your boat and it's trailing behind the boat, it slows you down. You can't go as fast as you would like to. I couldn't find the exact origin because it comes up in many different situations, but just think of wood that no longer exists, like a dead tree. It's just dragging behind, it's slowing you down. So in a work environment, if someone says we need to get rid of the dead wood, it's like we need to get rid of what's slowing us down, either people or ideas or situations. When the new CEO joined the company, her first step was to get rid of the dead wood. It's like removing anything that is slowing you down or causing you to not be as profitable as you would like to be. To touch base, This is one you will come across all the time. People use it in emails, in phone conversations, in notes, to touch base. Now, this comes from baseball, but it could also come from cricket. It could also come from rounders. If you know the English sport rounders, comes from the idea that once you've done your full run, your home run, your innings, you have to return back to base and touch base for it to be counted. So to touch base is to go back and just clarify. So if I say to you, okay, you go and work on that half of the project, I'll work on my half of the project, and we'll touch base in a week. What I mean by that is, in a week's time, we will catch up and discuss everything we've both done. Are we still on the same page? Are we still moving forwards in the right direction? Have we both got the same ideas? Or maybe you overhear someone saying, oh, I need to touch base with Sam about project X. Touch base is like check in. Think of it as another way of saying check in, to communicate with each other. But you'll often see this at the end of an email. Oh, touch base soon, touch base in a week. Seal the deal. Now, this has a very nice origin. So I'm not sure when English people stopped doing this, but originally in the olden days, instead of signing your signature, you would take a piece of wax, put it on the page, and stamp your family name or your logo, let's say, and everyone would know that was from you. And this was a way of saying, I clarify this, I am consenting to this, I agree with this. So you were sealing, because it's called a wax seal, you were sealing the deal. Nowadays we just sign if we make a deal, or we shake hands with someone when we make a deal. But we still use this phrase, to seal the deal. It's like to finish something, to be clear on something. Maybe you just scored a really high profile client at work and you've been trying to convince them for months, and you finally seal the deal. They finally agreed to go with you. They finally agreed to become your client, to seal the deal, to finish something, complete something. Have a contract signed between you. But bear in mind, it's metaphorical. So it doesn't have to be a physical contract. It can be a handshake. It could be an email saying, yes, let's go ahead. It means to agree to something together. To dot all the I's and cross all the T's. I hate this one because it takes so long to say. And its meaning is really simple. So when you're writing a sentence in English, the last thing you do in the sentence is put a dot on your I and cross the T's. That's the last thing. So, for example, when I write my name, which has a T and an I write the entire name, and then I go back and cross the T and dot the I. So what this is saying is, once you finish, check everything. Check all the small details. Did you miss anything? Is there anything you could improve? It basically means pay attention to detail, which is why I don't like it, because you could just say pay attention to detail and it's quicker. But hey, it's cute. Make sure to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. On the right track. We are on the right track. Now, again, with this one, there's a lot of argument over where this originated, who came up with it, what country came up with it. But a track typically refers to something horses walk down. So they don't walk on a pavement or a road or a sidewalk. They walk along a track or a trail made for horses. And originally, the British and the French and Americans, we all rode horses because we didn't have cars. So I think it's safe to say it comes from this era, where being on the right track means you're headed in the right direction. You're not going on the wrong path. You're not walking in the wrong direction or to the wrong destination. Why we don't just say the right road now, I'm not sure, but the right track has always been used, and that's how we still use it. So the right track means to go in the right direction. So if I propose an idea to you and you say, yes, you're on the right track, it's like it's not quite there, but you're heading in the right direction. You're on the right track. You're doing the right thing. You're headed the right way. Root for, to root for someone. Now, this is a nice one because this can be used outside of work with your friends or teammates. To root for someone is like to support them. So the roots of a plant are their support system. So if you want to support someone or cheer for them or be on their side, you can say, I am rooting for you. To root for. I root for this team. He roots for that team. Maybe you're up for a big promotion and your colleague says to you, I'm rooting for you. You got this. It's like, I'm really supporting you. I want you to get this promotion. I'm behind you 100%. Off the cuff. Now, the cuff, if you don't already know, is the hard part of typically a man's shirt, but nowadays women's shirts have cuffs as well. And the cuff is this hard part where you wear your cuff links. So to do something off the cuff is like to not have a plan, not have thought about it, to just have thought about it on the spot. It's the same as saying off the top of my head. So to do something off the cuff is like to improvise or come up with it on the spot. So you were not prepared in advance. Now, this can be used in a positive way. Like, let's say, for example, you're giving a presentation and you lose your notes and you can say, it's okay, I'll do it off the cuff. I'll do it on the spot. However, we do often use it in a negative way. Oh, that was an off the cuff remark. Or you could tell that was an off the cuff speech, not prepared, not created in advance. It was made up on the spot. And the last one today, a lead balloon. Now, lead is a very, very heavy metal. And a balloon, of course, is something that is light and floats. So what happens if you make a balloon out of a very heavy metal? Well, it's not going to float. It's going to sink. So if you say something went down like a lead balloon, it's like the joke didn't land very well or it didn't go to plan because it went down really hard, really fast. So let's say I'm in a conference and I make a joke and nobody laughs. I can say, oh my gosh, that went down like a lead balloon. It wasn't very funny. Nobody laughed. The balloon didn't go up. It went straight down. Or maybe, you're having jokes with your colleagues at work and you say something funny and again, nobody laughs. You can say that went down like a lead balloon. And then, of course, people will laugh at that because that is funny. It's almost like making a joke at yourself because what you said was not very funny. Oh, that went down like a lead balloon. So that is all my idioms for you today. What are your favorite workplace idioms? Or have you come across an idiom before at work and thought, what on earth does that mean? And had to Google it yourself to find out. Some of these idioms are years old, hundreds of years old, and realistically, we should stop using them. But it's so part of English language and culture that they are used all the time. Thank you, as always, for watching this video and supporting me. And I will see you in the next one. I hope you have a fantastic week. Goodbye.